Hello, Jess. It's wonderful to see you.
Hi, how are
I'm
you?
I'm wonderful. I'm great. I just watched the trailer, so I'm very excited for everything that this season is going to bring. And I just want to start. I want to ask, like you jumped into this role. You're now doing, show running the show, and there's already just been so much established, fandom and everything. So how did you really approach this new season and want to put your own spin on it?
Yeah. The great thing about the show is that it does naturally reinvent itself each year. Because we shift our focus to different couples, every season has a slightly different tone. And as someone who's a huge fan of the rom-com genre, I wanted to put a little bit of that sensibility into this season. So we're definitely leaning into the humor, a sense of playfulness, some familiarity. And the friends to lovers arc with Penelope and Colin, I think was the perfect place to do that.
Absolutely. And I mean, and I love just in general the friendships of this season. I think it helps kind of just play into making it different because we don't always get to see
Yeah.
friendships, you know?
Yeah,
So
there's
I
a lot of laughter this year, which is refreshing.
absolutely. And can you just kind of talk a little bit about, what everyone else is kind of up to, these other friendships that we're going to get to see?
Yep. We've got the Eloise Penelope friendship, which obviously is not at a good place right now. They had a huge, really breakup at the end of last season. And this season, we're charting what that feels like and seeing how they're growing without their best friend around and seeing whether they're going to grow together or they're going to grow further apart. Meanwhile, you have Eloise, who's developed a friendship with Cressida, which is unlikely in certain ways. But I think after being so disappointed by Penelope, by Theo last season, she has kind of a if you can't beat them, join them attitude. And she's going to learn a lot about herself from being friends with Cressida. I'll say that.
For sure. And I have to ask, I mean, how much of like the fan input do you see when you're going into this? Because obviously people have been seeing these two characters for a while. They have lots of opinions about it. So how do you
Yeah.
really approach that?
I try to not look at what the fans are saying when I'm writing the season and when we're producing it. Just because, not because I don't care, it's the opposite. Like, I care too much, I think. Like, I really want to give people what they want to see. And I think I have to stay focused on what is the right story to tell for these characters. I do get sent things occasionally though, so I'm like loosely aware of some of the fan theories, and they're onto some interesting stuff. I'll just say that I'm fascinated by it.
And I know a big thing people are talking about right now is, we don't have like the best place right now for Colin with how he left us. So we're a
Yeah.
little angry. So there's a lot of that going on. So I mean, can we see a different side of Colin this season?
Definitely. If you'll remember how people felt about Anthony by the end of season one, we weren't too happy with him either. And I think what we're doing with all of our characters is trying to give them room to grow. Colin certainly has a lot of room to grow in that I think he's a little dependent on other people's opinions of him and needs to step into a sense of self where he's being authentic and doesn't care as much about what other people think.
I think there are a lot of lessons that are like really beautiful in this season that like people can really take away from about learning about yourself and growing with other people. And I also just wanted to ask, I mean, again, going into the fans, a lot of people think they kind of know what's going to happen, have predictions. Do you think that people will be left surprised?
I do. I think, this isn't a show that's really hiding what we're trying to do. Like, you always know there's going to be a happily ever after, and the main couple is probably going to get together. But how we get there, I think will take some interesting twists and turns, and even book readers may not see some things coming.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. That's all the time I have, but congratulations.
Definitely. Thank you. So nice to meet you.